My name is Engr.Dr Charles Agulanna. I'm currently the DG and Chief Executive of Project Development Institute, PRODA, Enugu. I actually started work here in PRODA about 2002. Started off as a principal research officer and rose to the rank of a director. Eventually, I became the Director General and Chief Executive of PRODA. That was in 2014. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. I have a doctorate degree in mechanical engineering, energy and power. And I also have a master's degree in production, also in mechanical design and production. I also do have a postgraduate diploma degree in computer science and engineering, and also a postgraduate diploma in finance and banking. I'm married, I have 5 children. You will see that the acronym PRODA actually does not match with Projects Development Institute. The reason is simple. The institute used to be called Project Development Agency when it was under the defunct East Central State government, until the government took over from the state government. That was about 1971, and renamed it, instead of Project Development Agency, it was renamed Project Development Institute. So really, the acronym should have been PRODI. But because PRODA has made name with that acronym PRODA, the government decided to retain that acronym, that is PRODA. I would like to say that the mandate of PRODA, if you put it briefly, is research into industrial materials, from the laboratory stage to the pilot plant stages. And this we do because we have in mind the entrepreneurs who will take up the blueprints, technologies that were developed in the process, and take it up for commercial activity. And so, in brief, we have been involved in such projects like agro-processing industries in very many areas, like in cassava processing into various to gari flour. That's the machinery involved. We also do have machines developed for production of powdery substances from like corn flour, like soybean flour, like plantain, unripe plantain flour, and many other. We even produce mixers for various industries, paint industry, and a lot of industries that require mixers. Also, we produce things like ovens. We produce ovens for the various industries that need to dry or bake something. And a number of machines that we have. In fact, we actually get involved in custom-made machinery. If you have a process and you don't have a machine attached to those processes, we can develop the machines, design, and fabricate those machines for you. And so we're involved in a lot of things because industrial materials also cover unprocessed agro materials that we should add value to. So any industrial material that you wish to add value to, we are there to help out to add value to those materials so that they can be actually used as semi-finished products or finished products for the industry and domestic use. We actually are engaged in so many things, but I would like to first mention that we actually have found out that some of the work we have done in the past require to have what you call an intellectual property attached to them. So in a very short time, we'll have success from the past 2 to 3 years. We've been able to patent 6 of our products. We have patents on 6 of our products. Some of them include agro-processing machinery. Like I remember that we have a patent in a double barrel, double barrel toaster for soybean. We have also the soybean dehulling separation machine. I mentioned the machines that we have patents on. We have a patent also on the palm kernel nut cracker separator. We have a patent on a biogas plant, which is actually a PhD project of one of the staff here, and who did some work in STEBI projects. So we've been able to convert that to a patent, and so many others. But I'd like to add more. We actually started something with pencil production. And pencil production is not easy. It's not something that looks quite simple, because there are a few countries in the world that produce pencils. We don't produce pencils in Africa. We don't produce, in fact, we import pencils from China, from Taiwan, from India, from the UK. And we have a lot in abundance. That's raw material inputs that we could convert into products like pencil. We have graphite, we have clay, we have wood. All these are the major ingredients that you add up to make up to produce pencils. So we're working on pencils. We have produced pencils here, but actually we've been working out to have a mini industrial setup that could do some processing of our raw materials, so that we can develop the use of our own raw materials instead of importing raw materials from outside the country, which is presently what we're trying to do to run the machines that we've been able to acquire. But we want to use our own materials to run these plants. So that is for pencil production. We have also some work done in some areas, but they have only reached a level of design, and we are still to go into the production level. That is, I'll mention a few. We have like a cashew nut production. That is producing cashew nuts by toasting and removing the internal seed whole. So we are working on that, and we are very hopeful that we come out with good results. Also, we are working on modifying some of the works that have been done earlier here, like the cassava processing, cassava, they call it the cassava peeler. In fact, we even have a patent in cassava peeler. We have 2 patents in cassava peeling. But that did not stop us from trying to even improve on some of the very good inventions we have been able to do here. And so I will tell you that in the area of agro processing, that we've been doing quite a lot. And we are sure that what we have on ground, that's the work on our work tables, that when we accomplish them, that the industry, especially those entrepreneurs who are involved in agro processing, will be very happy to have some of the works that we are, some of the designs that we are putting up, to make sure that they produce at economic levels that ensure mass production and profits. When we talk about stakeholders, we are thinking of the federal government, state governments, in fact, government at all levels, but at the local government level, to the state government, and to the federal government. Others include the public at large, and especially the investing public, those who have the capital, and the entrepreneurs who are interested to start a business. So at the level of government, the kind of relationship we want to do with government is to be supportive. One, we should be supportive of federal government initiatives, the initiatives that will require us to help out the alleviate poverty. I think poverty is the root cause of all the things that you can see happening. Poverty, I tell you, is directly related to all the worries, all these people who are involved in suicide missions. I mean, somebody looks at his life or her life, he doesn't see how to live, and does not value even his life or the life of others. And so we have a stake in this to assist the government. But then we still need assistance of government to enable us achieve this. Some funds need to be channeled to some of the causes, some of the projects we have here. We have projects that can alleviate poverty. And we need to be supported, especially in our budgets. We need to be supported in our budgets so that we can extend some of the things that are lying in our shelves that nobody is coming to take up. We thank government for what they have been doing so far, but it appears that more needs to be done so that the trickle effects will affect the masses to some level. Everybody should feel our presence, that there's something we can do to alleviate poverty. And we can alleviate poverty through the windows can be created, really. A window can be created that enables us to carry out our research findings to the grassroots. And that is why also we need the local governments to come and partner with us. They can partner with us and help us to help them by bringing us into their business. Look at the areas they require assistance, especially in area they have relative advantage. If your people have cassava, a lot of cassava that wastes during the harvest season, we can come and give you some machinery that can help process cassava, get products that have better shelf lives or longer shelf lives, so that the people at the grassroots can have some economic value for their crops. Also, we are asking entrepreneurs. The problem we really have in this country is that some of our entrepreneurs are only concerned with getting quick business, that is hanging fruits, something they could invest today, tomorrow they start to see the profits. But some of the products we have require capital, require a gestation period. That gestation period may vary from 1 to 5 years. So the investing public also should be ready to accommodate some of the things, engagements that could have longer gestation periods than a month or a week or two that most business persons wish to have. One aspect of government that we'll be very happy to deal with is the local government, at the level of the local government. Why do I say the level of the local government? The local governments are the ones that are close to the grassroots. And I must tell you, there's excruciating poverty at the level of the grassroots. And we have the capacity to train people in various areas of business. We can train them into soap making, can train them for other products, processing of agro products. We can even train them in the area of welding and fabrication, so that they can be employed. We can train them in the processing, in how to process some agro materials. And of course, they need the support. It's not after you have trained somebody and you cannot support the person with the machinery that will allow him to be. That is what I'm saying now, is tooling up. You have to tool up. You train and you tool up so that the person does not still continue to be in the employment market. If you train, you must support. You must give some level of tooling up so that the person can use the training for positive for productivity and positive work. And I'm saying this with all sincerity. There are so many people, the level of employment is so much so that when you compare with the rate of graduates, the number of graduates that pour into the market, in the unemployment market, there is fear. I tell you, there's growing fear that this army of unemployed youths, if nothing is invested on these people to make them relevant, more relevant to society, I tell you, these issues of insecurity are not going to leave us very soon. Something has to be done. We need to be involved. And at our level, we have products on our shelves that can do this. But all we need is further support to enable us train these persons and then give out the tools that they need. But we can't give out the tools with empty hand. We need to also produce those machines that will support them. We need the local governments in the particular areas of need. We need them. We need the youths that could fill these gaps. There are gaps. There are areas where people need some welders to produce some little things like very small parts of machines. There are some people who require to produce things from cassava, for example, produce gari in a way that could be of commercial, reasonable commercial quantity. When I say commercial quantity, I don't mean large-scale industrial setups. I don't even mean small scale. I'm talking of the micro level, micro industries that can support one or two individuals who, of course, can now support their families. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm sure we can support governments, especially at the grassroots, with very many of these products. Thank you once again.